This homeless camp of over 100 people would literally freeze and starve to death if it wasn't for this brave 9-year-old boy. Tell me, what inspired you to do this, to get this started?
Well, every time we call them houseless because they do have homes. Every time I see someone on the side of the road, I always ask my mom if we can get them something to eat. When Mom told me about the camps, I was like, why can't we not just feed them dinner?
You have such a huge heart and you have so much to teach people out there. When I got clean and I started helping people, I thought the same thing. I said, why doesn't somebody help these people? And you know what God said to me?
What?
He said, you are somebody, go help them. And that's what you're doing. So high five, man. You are awesome. Can I give you a hug?
Yeah.
Dude, that's so cool.
Honestly, here because of her son that was almost 9 at the time. This was all his idea.
Do you see people, getting frostbite or passing away from the cold?
We've lost 3, yes. Yeah, we had a young lady last year in December that she was gone for 3 days before somebody found her. And we didn't want to see that happen again.
How many people, at its height, were out here, I guess?
Highest numbers have been, we've gotten up to about 100.
Yeah.
That's just this camp, though. We do this camp and we also do Amtrak, and there's 3 other camps.
Yeah.
We've even got family members on the outside that have reached out to us and said, hey, have you seen? So we've kind of been able to sometimes be their eyes and ears to know that their loved ones are at least alive.
Yeah.
Naively, when I came into this, I thought we were going to feed him, go home, and be done. It's amazing how attached you get. And the stories and how much they look forward to seeing you, and if they have a special need, they trust us and they're not afraid to ask.
We've even been asked to kind of help bridge the gap with some of the services that the city provides, because a lot of people have recognized that they trust us advocates, and so us advocates are trying to help rebuild that trust and get them back into services. We've got a huge group of advocates outside of the Jacks Project even that have been boots on the ground, round the clock through this cold snap, making sure that we know where everybody's at, moving them around, making sure they're going inside when they need to, making sure they got propane. But yeah, frostbite, it's extremely common. But we're also educating them that you've got to vent those tents if you're running propane.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize that kind of stuff,
We have had a couple of success stories, people going back home to have a baby and to go back with their families. Unfortunately, we've had some losses. We've lost some of our campers, and it hits hard. You get pretty attached to these people. We all do.
I always say a lot of times people just need a hand up, It's not just a hand out, it's a hand up. It's God's love. Where would Jesus be if he was here today? He'd be right here in this camp hanging out. Right. He'd be kicking it with the homies, eating food, cooking out. I'm doing this documentary in all 50 states, and I've been out on the streets before. I've been an addict before. And when I go and talk to people, I get to know them, right? I don't just come out there filming or saying, hey, do you want to go to rehab? No, I'm just out there to hang out, right?
Build that relationship first.
And when you build that relationship, that's where it's at. So I love that you guys are doing this, and I'm trying to inspire other people around the country to do similar things, because that's what's so important. You got to get to know them. You got to ask them about who they are, and so they trust you. Tell me what the Isaiah verse means to you.
Treat people the way that Jesus would have them be treated, to take care of them. And again, like I said, the food's the byproduct. It's loving people exactly where they're at and filling their bellies at the same time doesn't hurt.
Yeah. And that's what I do too when I go out. I'll bring out food or I'll hand out some cigarettes or something just so they can see hey, he's being nice, and then they get to know me and see that I've been where they've been at. And that's a lot of people ask me why I have so much success doing what I'm doing. Well, it's because I come out there, I hang out with them, get to know them, right? And a lot of people, we've helped people all over the country get into treatment, get sober. My buddy Dan from Kensington, are you guys familiar with Kensington? Yeah. Another, hard-hit area. Dan and his girlfriend were homeless out there for 2 years. We met them. They're celebrating 6 months sober today. Wow. What can we do to help you guys?
Well, you said you were a believer, right?
Absolutely.
Prayer is the best support.
Amen.
Prayer is, and then just encourage people to do the same thing, and it really is simple. All it really honestly takes is love.
Yes. Start small. It doesn't have to be huge. We started with a little meal, and it came, it turned into donating coats and blankets and just basic needs to try to keep people alive. Everybody has a story, a different story why they're here, and it doesn't matter to us why they're here. It matters that they're a human being. They need food, shelter, and love, like we all do.